All right, so last week the reunion was so great that just like that this week we get reunion 2. Isn't that just awesome? So I'm sure you might have heard somewhere that the big headline, I guess you could say, is that Thomas Müller and Timo Werner, two former Mannschaft teammates, may face off against each other today. I am 99.9% certain that Timo Werner will start. He has every match so far. And Thomas Müller, he didn't start last week against Minnesota, but he did start in the midweek, so there's a pretty high chance he starts today, but it depends on what Sorensen has in mind. As for the match itself, there should be a decently big test, and the biggest reason for that actually is that Andres Kubas has an abductor injury, so he will be missing a few weeks, including today, and it's going to be difficult to adjust without him. He is to say the least, a crucial part of the side, but it's still early on in the season, and there's really not much better time to figure it out, figure out how to adjust without him than now, when most of the sides are still trying to find consistency or find their feet. San Jose, they've had a good start to the season. They won their first 3 matches, although they didn't play the most difficult of opponents to start off. They played Kansas City, Atlanta, and Philadelphia. All 3 of those I don't believe are projected to be in the playoffs. I think both of them, or all 3 of them, I think, combined have 2 wins amongst each other. So, either way though, that's beside the point. San Jose, they have some good pace in their squad, and they do like to attack, so it should be a fun one regardless.
Whitecaps FC, how we love thee. Well, stand and sing for victory. La 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. All the things you do to me and all the things you say, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. Here in the south side, I'm falling in love, and I just can't seem to get enough.
Alright, so there are 6 changes from the midweek against Seattle. Chik Sabali notably gets his first start. Manuel Tavi returns to the starting lineup alongside actually an entirely different midfield duo. JC and Gondo, as well as Allegra Larraz, are playing in midfield, so Kubas injured, so he's not available, and Berhalter will be dropped on the bench. And then Tristan Blackman has recovered from his injury that kept him up for 2 matches. He starts back at center back in place of Matias Laporta. Also, Mihail Gerasimenkov starts at left back just as he did against Minnesota. Take Johnson to the bench as a result. Most notably, Thomas Müller and Timo Werner are both on the bench. So I probably would expect that they'll both come in, perhaps even earlier if one or both teams need some more pace in their play, but we'll have to wait and see.
Now fans, led by head coach Jesper Sorensen. Presented by BLG. Join me in announcing the Vancouver Whitecaps FC. Starting 11. Starting with your goalkeeper, number 1, Johan. At center back, number 6, Ralph. In his first MLS start, at left midfielder, number 7, Jack. Defensive midfielder, number 8, Oliver. At right midfielder, number 11, Emmanuel. At right wing back, number 18, Elliot. Attacking midfielder, number 22, A. In his first MLS start of the season, defensive midfielder, number 26, Jake.
Gerasimenkov.
In at left wing back. At center back, number 33, Tristan. And in at striker, your captain, number 24, Brian.
Dancing.
San Jose points more, scored the 47th minute, by number 34, Müller.
All right, so that half honestly it wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad by any means. I think it was more or less. I think both sides showed good play at both ends. So I think that half was, aside from the end, I think it was fine. Both sides, I think, showed some good stuff. Ocampo's been very involved, both defensively and going forward. Takaoka has gone for the direct pass over the top a lot. San Jose have gone down the right as well, but yeah, Daniel has kept San Jose in it on a couple of occasions. And then, yeah, the goal at the end was kind of reminiscent of the same goal they scored here last year from the same player, actually, Lewu. It was a strike from outside the area off a half-cleared corner. That one last year took a deflection. This one just went straight in, and to be honest, I would say that the fact that it wasn't really cleared enough was a big factor as to why that chance happened in the first place. But no chance once Lewu hit that. So unfortunately, that was the very last kick of the half, and I don't know. It's hard to say. This game's still very much in the balance, but you know, a moment like that, you know, of not quite clearing and then big strike, just, you know, can do something like this, and that's kind of just how it works sometimes. Not expecting to blow it 6 minutes, but considering that, like,
Against Frank's final four match tonight, Central St. Earthquakes 1, your Vancouver Whitecaps FC 0. You're going into a world-class game in delicious dining and a vibrant atmosphere just made to win.
Yeah, so overall, frustrating result in the end. So I did talk about the first half already, and there was good chances, but Daniel made some good saves, and then really that goal at the end of the half from Leroux, nice strike, that certainly changed the second half quite a bit, I would say. So in the second half, well, rather most of the game, but especially the second half, San Jose, they were very good at keeping pressure when the ball was in midfield, and they were making it difficult for the ball to even get past them in the center of the pitch anyway. So there's a lot of reliance on balls over the top and playing it out wide to get crosses into the box. And San Jose dealt with those pretty well. They didn't have too many issues dealing with it, aside from maybe a situation here or there. So there wasn't really enough sustained pressure or any sustained period of play in the second half. And that was something that San Jose was, of course, perfectly fine with, playing with the lead and stuff. And so, yeah, overall, it's a rough match. Just not quite, the best display, but it is what it is, really. I suppose if there is some positives to get out of this, is that, well, it was a different lineup, so it was nice to, give that a shot, because, of course, as the season goes on, there's going to be fewer opportunities to do so. And the fact that, well, only conceded 2 goals in the league so far, I guess. And both of them were strikes from outside the area. So, you know, can't really be too disappointed in getting beat from shots like that. And yeah, San Jose didn't have a crazy amount of chances, but I mean, that doesn't really matter when they're able to take a chance that they get and prevent too much at the other end, and be able to prevent like what was against them at the other end. So I guess you can say this is the first rough patch, you could say. So I guess you could say this is the first rough stretch since that Champions Cup final defeat, where there was difficulty finding form afterwards. But there is an international break right after this, so a couple weeks of rest and regroup. Hopefully that will help, because there'll be more home matches to come after that before a long away trip, and it's important to get back on track as quick as possible, because that long away stretch it's going to be challenging, to say the least, for sure. But yeah, I guess that's all I've got for today. Not the best night, but what can you really do? I'll be back in a couple weeks when Portland comes here. I'm sure they will be looking to. They'll certainly be looking to make up for that, that defeat that they suffered over at their home. So, yeah. Hope you have a good rest of your night or day. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, that is. Maybe not the result itself or anything, but yeah. Anyways, I will see you at the next match. Have a good one. Bye.